So there's a whole part of the world which I think we have basically written off sometimes. I feel that it's unreachable, but it's not unreachable. And one of these trumpet messages is designed to bring about awakening in that huge portion of the world. It's probably the most populous part of the earth, really. When we think about China and India, and these countries have between them nearly half the world's population. And the number of Christians in these countries is so minimal. So minimal. I know not that long ago I was privileged to visit Morocco. I'd always wanted to go to Morocco, but I made one mistake while I was there. I decided to take a 4-day journey by camel across the Sahara Desert. I'm still recovering, you know. One of the worst decisions of my life. An eye-opening decision, but I always wanted to see the great market system, which they call a souk, in these Muslim countries. So I went into this huge souk. It covered acres. I mean, acres. Little tiny streets running every which way, merchants everywhere selling everything. And I made up my mind I'm just going to walk in, I'll spend the whole day in here, and when I'm ready to leave, I'll start asking, how do I get out of here? Because it's like a rabbit's warren. So I'm wandering around the souk. I don't know how many hundreds of acres it was. It was vast. And I'm walking down this little cobbled street. And there's little stalls and merchants everywhere. And this guy steps out from his little place of business. He has beautiful carpets hanging. And he goes like this to me. I'd been practicing. So I went. And he said, please enter my humble abode. I said, well, thank you very much. I will come into your humble abode. I'm pretty sure he's going to try and sell me something. So he produced a stool, and I sat on the stool. And he turned to his nephew, and he looked at me, and he said, you will drink Moroccan whiskey with me. I said, of course I'll drink Moroccan. I love telling this story, especially in our health institute. And this is an Arab country, so what did I know about what I'm going to be offered to drink? One thing you're never going to be offered in an Arab country is alcohol. So whatever Moroccan whiskey is, I knew it wasn't alcohol, so I felt safe in saying, yes, I'll drink Moroccan whiskey with you. And the nephew comes back with a silver tray and little glasses on it. And Moroccan whiskey is a delicious mint tea. The only thing that's not good about it is they stick a cube of sugar almost as big as those cubes of butter you can buy. The cup's only about this big, and they stick a whole cube of sugar, which is bigger than the cup. And it slowly melts. And so every time he turned away, I would pull out the cube of sugar and hide it under one of his carpets. I say, oh, your sugar's gone. He'd put another one in. I think I had 20 cups of Moroccan whiskey. I said, my goodness, if you could ever get drunk on mint tea, I'd be drunk by now. And the sugar intake was terrible. I'm a very low sugar person myself. Anyway, so that took like an hour to have our drink together. And he said, now we can get down to business. I said, of course we can get down. I'm wondering what he's going to try and sell me. Because I'm limited in terms of what I can carry back to the hospital. Yes, speaking French. And people in these countries want to speak if possible. He had those both. Anyway, he says to me, I am assuming that you are a Christian. He took me by surprise. said, well, your assumption is correct. I am a Christian. He said, because I need to have a very serious discussion with a Christian. He said, I am a Muslim. I said, well, I guessed that you were a Muslim. That wasn't hard to work out. So I said, why do you need to have a discussion with a Christian? He said, because the theory of evolution is making deep inroads into Islam. And just as Christianity has had to process dealing with the theory of evolution, it's causing many Christians to lose confidence in the biblical account of creation, we are now facing the same challenges in Islam. And he said, I don't have the answers to the questions that the theory of evolution is raising. So I said to him, well, you know, I'm not the world's most scientific person, but I have many children that have been through school and have raised these questions about evolution, so I do have quite a few things that I could contribute. He said, so our first session should take 4 hours. I'm trying to calculate how many cups of whiskey I'll have to drink during that time. A 4-hour discussion, continually having these little cups. And then he said, I'll need you to come back for a second session of 4 hours. So I didn't think I could sit with a Muslim and have a 4-hour discussion on arguments in favor of creationism and opposing evolution, but it was one of the most stimulating conversations of my entire life. And after the end of our first 4-hour session, when I was exhausted, and I still had to find my way out of the rabbit warren, you know, he says to me, has it occurred to you that we are worshippers of the same Creator God? I said, yes, I've been sitting here thinking the same thought, that we are worshippers of the same Creator God. I said, the only difference is that my God is three, and your God is one God. My God is one God, but He's three in one. He said, I understand that. And we prayed together, and I left, and he made me promise, and 5 days later, after I survived the camel nightmare, I waddled in. I couldn't walk properly. and I went back in, and we had our second session together. This was in Marrakesh, by the way. Delightful place in Morocco. You know what I said to myself? I walk into the souk, the largest Arab souk in the world, in Marrakesh, and who do I encounter? One of God's chosen children, with serious questions about how do I defend the honor and integrity of God the Creator. I said, wow, this is a better discussion than I've had with most Christians. And this man in Deadlands, he's still communicating with me by email. The modern age has reached into the souk as well. It sits there with his little laptop now.